Hey, Black Fat Femme family. I am coming to you in 4K to let you know that the Black Fat Femme podcast is nominated for not one, but 2 Signal Awards. And now you can help us secure first place. All you need is a valid email. Go on over to the Signal Awards website and vote for us for both categories. One of the categories is Best Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Podcast. And then the other one is for Best LGBTQ Podcast. Child, it would mean everything to us if you went over and you did that right now. You can find the link on our Instagrams, on my Instagram, as well as Jordan's Instagram. You can also head over to the Black Fat Femme Podcast. Anywhere that you are on social, that is where we are. You will find the link and you can vote for us there. Thank you for your love and support. We are excited and we can't wait to win. I see you on the interwebs.
I'm still here! Yes! I'm still here! Yes! I'm still here! Yes! I'm still here! Yes! Sorry, I can't help it.
The Black Fat Femme Podcast is a production of iHeartRadio and Dr. John Paul, LLC. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black Fat Femme Podcast, where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I'm one of your hosts, John, also known as Dr. John Paul, and I am so happy to announce that I'm still here. Yes, I'm still here. Yes, I did not get raptured. I'm stuck down here with all the heathens and hellbenders. How are you, Joho?
Did you see the video I sent you? That was and I was like, this is us. Like we're still still here.
Yes.
Here.
Still
I lived.
2 days after.
Okay.
We didn't get raptured this week.
Lovies, it's your bestie Jordan, aka Joho. Unfortunately, or maybe unfortunately, depending on who you ask, I also did not get raptured. And I'm not gonna lie, it's so ghetto down here, and I would not have minded being transported to a different dimension. Like it would have been fine with me. Like if they had beamed me up, I've been like, oh bye guys. Like I've been like, bye y'all, good luck. Like
I gotta go.
I've been called back. Like like not gonna work. Like I ain't trying to die, but I would happy be in Earth 2 or multiverse place because this Earth. Not the one.
Yeah, Mars. Everybody, okay. I'd be wanting to get teleported to Mars.
Come on,
it is funny though because I did have some friends text me, come teleport me to Mars, Teletubby. But I did have a few friends text me and be like, yo, I'm texting from heaven. A friend of mine said that she went to Noah's Mart instead of Noah's Ark. It was Noah's Mart. And she was talking about all of the goodies that they had in Noah's Mart. And so all my friends are nuts and I love them for it. Shout out to Ray and Centauria listeners of the show who were sending me all of the messages about what it's like to be in
heaven. And I do wonder what kind of reception they got up there. Like, do you think like between heaven and hell, like do you think
15G?
Like heaven's like heaven's like iPhone, like heaven's like Apple status, like I'm not even gonna text a red bubble bitch because I'm not trying to be
Boost
exactly
Mobile.
Right, like it's hell giving Boost Mobile,
hell Boost Mobile and heaven and Apple Store. Yeah, that's
like,
a good
I just
question.
Wonder, right?
Like,
is it 5G? Is this,
what's
is like does 5G stand for 5 gods? Does God regulate? Like I just have questions. I need the angels to answer. That's all.
Yeah. Are the apostles like the Apple? You know, when you go to the Apple Store, the apostles be walking around with like little tablets asking you questions. That's what I'm thinking. You know what? That's a whole episode. Like, what would it be like? What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. But speaking of the 2000s, we are going to have a Kiki today. This week is going to be fun. Yes, because we are literally getting into the topic that made me one of the literally just all pop culture episode for those who have been saying, wow, like some of the episodes, like I know we've had a couple of episodes these last couple of weeks when you've been like, you left the episode like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot, but today we gonna have some fun. So today we are getting together with one of my favorite people. They are helping us understand what really happened during the Y2Gay era. Not Y2K, Y2Gay, right? We got to make sure. A self-proclaimed gay menace and pop culture poppy, This 6'6" giant is not only a wealth of knowledge, but an icon who keeps putting us up on T. And I'll be transparent and saying, I'm gonna say this real quick before I call them into the room. There are a lot of things I know about the Y2K era of things, but then there are moments where I'll see one of their videos and I'll be like, I didn't know nothing about that. My God, like I didn't know Mario. What? Like, yeah, I didn't know Mario originally got, or not Mario. Usher. Usher was one of the
Okay.
ones who got. Yeah, I didn't
When
know
we
that. I
asked,
genuinely
where were
did
you
not
in
know that.
92? They had the answers. Okay.
Right.
They had the answers.
Yeah, they have all the answers. They really do. Please give it up for DeAndré Upshaw. How you doing, sis? It's good to see you.
Ciao, I'm good. Thank you for having me on the
Yeah.
podcast. I feel all luxurious and sensuous and ready to talk. I'm excited.
Yes, we are happy to have you. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get into the 2000s of it all because we are all millennials in some type of way. And
I
so
know
yeah, I'm
that's
just
right.
excited and just really, this is gonna be fun. I know we're gonna
Yeah,
have a
we're
good
really
time.
so thrilled to have you here. And we're going to kick off our show we do every week by doing our Steal Hair segment honoring Miss Tisha Campbell. Miss Tisha Campbell, if you are listening to this, know that we love you. We want you to be on our show as well, too. Please, so girl, hear me out now. And we're living through the moments that we refuse to let go on this show. So, DeAndre, we know you love talking about the Y2K. So we want to start by asking you for the segment, what is a Y2K moment that redefined you? It can be anything. I'll start and we'll bounce over to you and then to John. And I'll say for me, it's a few things. Number
Amen.
one is the sidekick phone. To this day, the beef I have with my brother about this, because my brother had got the sidekick phone when we had a family plan growing up. I had not had a phone yet. He got the sidekick phone, and the way the story
T-Mobile did her big
I tell
one.
myself is that he was like, look at my kilo phone. You ain't touching shit, huh? You ain't getting this phone from me. I bet you he let me use it whenever I want. I bet you he let me use it. The story I tell myself is no, he was not shit. He said it's my fucking phone. Don't touch it.
Is this the brother that be wanting to be
All
on
the
the
time.
show?
All the time.
All
All
the
the time.
time. Yeah,
And
yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
his
yeah.
story of me is that I had gotten a Game Boy and he had not gotten a Game Boy. And so my story of him is he got the psychic phone, which arguably is a better deal. And I did not get the psychic phone. But I remember
Yeah,
that
it
thing,
was. It
that
was.
little flip thing. Oh, he thought he was somebody and
And the light.
he was somebody in that.
T-Mobile
Ate
ate
with
with
that one
that. She
down.
really
So
was. T-Mobile really was in her bag with the
that is my
sidekick.
first moment. My second one, and thank you, DeAndre, for remind me of this. Spanish versions of English pop songs. The way,
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Ven
They,
comido,
eh,
baby. Ven comido, ven comido. Yes,
they,
yes.
my favorite one
Uh-huh.
is If I Were a Boy, Spanish version. Si yo fuera un
Uh-huh.
Si yo
chico,
fuera
solo
chico.
por una vez. Please, you can tell me shit. And
Yes.
Yes, yes.
oye, oye,
Uh-huh.
oh,
Oh,
please,
yeah.
oye,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
esto no tiene
Mhm.
salida,
Chaloves,
please.
Chaloves. Chaloves, Chaloves.
When they
Yes.
got Spanish
Beyonce was in her
singles,
Spanish
you
bag.
know they were somebody. I said
Yes.
that's a bad bitch right there who has
Yes.
Spanish singles. I lived. My last one is the iPod dancing moments. I love them little silhouettes.
Yes.
I feel like,
Real.
listen, I'm gonna say it. In a time where there was not much diversity, there was diversity in them because they're all silhouettes. But you saw dreads, you saw curls. Okay, I said, oh, they have some black folks in this one. Like I saw all the time. I said, oh, they are diverse in this one. Like, oh, I live that. The Apple commercials. My favorite, the people like just dancing everywhere, the little things on. They have a little nano,
Uh-huh.
the shuffle, the touch. Like it was all just so damn good. So those are my things I remember all the
Marketing.
time. But DeAndre, how about you?
Mhm.
Well, first, giving honor to God and Tisha Campbell, because I just can't pass that up. Anytime I have a chance to reference, I'm,
Yes.
I'm, I'm
I'm
still here.
still here. Cat,
Um,
cat,
I'm
here.
not ready for that black
Mhm.
butterfly. I'm not.
Yes, yes.
But I'm gonna try. Moment from the 2000s that made me a homosexual. I remember exactly where I was. I was
Yes.
in college and I was an RA, and I had I was always a big consumer of media.
Same.
And in the 2000s, it took a while for reality television to become legitimized as a legitimate source of entertainment. Some still argue that it isn't. But in the 2005, 2006, I watched live as Pumpkin spit in New York's
Oh,
face.
yes, same.
And
I
it was
remember where
honestly
I
like
was.
something switched
Yes.
on for me. Like I had always been
Slap
sort
me,
of
bitch.
a student of do it,
Do it,
slap me,
slap me,
bitch. I'd
bitch.
always been a student of pop culture and of what was going on in the world. And I'd watch Real World, I'd watch reality TV all my life.
Mhm.
But it was around that time. If you weren't alive or in the mid 2000s, you don't know that reality TV was like, I don't know. People weren't as into
Yeah.
it as they are now.
Right.
Before Nene, before Real
Right.
Housewives really solidified it, reality TV was really seen as something that stars did when their careers were
Mm.
dying,
Right.
or you had people in the house. And I felt like Flavor of Love. Obviously, there had been personalities on television before, but I felt like New York really was someone who went in and understood the game
Yes.
and gave us good television.
Mhm.
And there's something to be said for doing it all for good TV. And so that's one of I remember where I was. And I remember thinking to myself, I think I like this.
Yes, that
Same.
I
part.
think I like
Surreal
this.
Life was when I was
Yes.
hook, line, and sinker. Surreal Life is what got me.
Mm.
When
Love it.
When
Yes.
was it? What's his name?
Vern
Vern
Troyer peed
Troyer.
in the
When he
hallway.
peed in the hallway, that moments that live in my head rent free. I said that little
I
man
love it.
just peed in the hallway. My God, my
It's
God.
one day I will do a dissertation because the surreal life for
Mhm.
me is it's one of those things. It's an iceberg thing because you don't have Flavor of Love without the surreal life.
Right.
Surreal life was where we got Brigitte Nielsen
And
and Flavor
Flavor.
Flav
Yeah,
in a house together. Then they had a
they
spinoff
did.
of
They
that show called
did.
Strange Love,
Yep.
and it was about them navigating their relationship.
Mhm.
And their
Flavor of Love came
relationship
from that, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
then Flavor of Love
Uh-huh.
came from that. And so Surreal Life is really sort of the granddaddy of the VH1 reality experience
Mhm.
because and it was originally on God, I know too much random shit about too many things because Surreal Life was originally on the WB.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yes, come on, WB.
And I don't know if they canceled it or if they moved it, but it got moved to VH1, and that's when they really leaned into the cheese.
Mhm.
And I remember Janice Jacobson was there, and Top Model was around that time too. And so it's the
And
2000s
she
was
was
really when
giving
we started reality.
wasn't that the year where Omarosa and her were giving each other hell?
Yep,
Okay,
and they
yeah.
had this great dynamic that plays out on television, and
Mhm.
it was around this time that really I feel like reality TV switched from being shows about groups of people to being shows about
Yeah.
personalities. And I'm sure it happened before this time. I'm not going to say that everything happened when New York got spit on, but it was a turning point. And shows like that
Mhm.
that speak to where we are and who we are
Mhm.
as people, I think, are so important. And yeah, they're trashy. Yeah, it was wrong of her to spit. It's wrong of them to fight. But these are people. This is how people react in situations, and it is interesting to
Yep.
watch. I love it.
Yeah, and now Mother, the woman who spit on her pumpkin is I think she's an RN. I think she's a registered
Oh.
nurse. And so to think about the idea of like her walking into my like I don't know how I would
Wow.
react if I went to a hospital and pumpkin and I knew she came in and she was like, "Hi, I'm going to be your
I would
nurse."
say nothing
I'd
until
be
I
like,
leave. So I'd be like, bye, pumpkin.
"Right.
Bye, pumpkin.
Bye,
Bye,
Bye, pumpkin. That's what I
bye,
would
pumpkin.
do. That's what I
pumpkin."
would
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bye,
yeah. Yes.
pumpkin.
So for me, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I may have mentioned this before, but I was gonna say I think the thing for me that will always kind of redefine who I am was when cell phones, when people actually cared about cell phone
Mm,
ringtones. When ringtones
Mm.
actually meant things to people. And my first cell phone, shout out to Sprint, which is no more for some of y'all had to again, you had to be there. You had to be there. Sprint, Singular, all of those places were different
singular.
cell phone companies that existed before, obviously capitalism swallowed them up. But I remember my phone. So I had an AT&T Go phone that didn't really have like it just had sounds, right? And you could download ringtones, but they were just like regular sounds. But then my first phone from Sprint had actual ringtones. It played real songs, and I will never forget. I always remember where I was. I was in Jack Brown Hall at Cal State San Bernardino in the major hall where all the people where I was in a poli sci class, and my phone went off in my backpack. And it's just literally Beyonce crazy in love going off in the middle of the classroom, and everyone's
Yes.
looking at me, the teacher's looking at me, and it was so deep in my bag, and I'm like trying to get it to turn it off, but I will always remember that moment. Like that was the gayest
I
moment that ever lived in my life, was the fact that crazy in
please.
love was going off on my phone. in one of my classes in college. And like you too, I was an RA. I remember us, there was this major, it used I forget what we called it, but there was this place where we would all meet up and watch TV, and we would do all. I talk about it in my book. I talk about how reality TV shaped me in my book. But that was probably the thing that will always remind me of the 2000s is being so excited when my cell phone would go off and I had like the latest ringtone or the latest song.
Yes, because you like
Mhm.
if that phone went off during class, you had to have a good ringtone, or else people will bully the fuck out of you. Like you had
Yeah,
if you had a
yeah.
good song, I remember like,
Yes.
oh, okay, I see you. But if you had some dumb
Yeah, yeah,
shit, they'd be
yeah,
like, what the
yeah.
fuck is that? You're
Yeah, I mean,
disruptive
I
and
had them
basic.
all.
So I so feel you on that.
I remember when I got my new phone, Touch by A. Marie was one of my ringtones. Don't be afraid to
Oh
touch.
my god.
And I remember just that's still one of my favorite songs. But just, I
That's Anne Marie.
literally, yeah, shout out to A.
I
Marie,
love that
wherever
you
she is.
said
I hope she's doing well.
the gayest
Mhm.
ringtone, because like mine's for so long. This is telling me who I was when I was a kid, but mine's was that song Make Me Better by Fabulous featuring Neo.
Oh,
I'm a,
low
there's
soul.
a, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force
Yes, but I'm
when
a force
with
when
that
we're
song was a ringtone
together.
for like 3 years, and everyone be
Mhm.
like, Jordan, that's
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Because I
Mhm.
because I was just
Yeah,
like
Tipsy was
I
my
was just so
ringtone for a
like
minute too.
this little like flamboyant big kid, and they're like, "You out here singing this is it."
But that
And
song went off
no,
though.
the song was a bop,
It was a
and
hit.
like
Right.
it gave me some street cred, because everyone was like, "Oh, Jordan, you funky with it." And I was like, "I sure am."
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
live for ringtone, and I remember when get the song from LimeWire, go on your phone and be like, "Make me better
Oh
.mp3."
yes.
These
Uh-huh,
kids these days will never
uh-huh.
know what a
You should
.mp3 file
they won't
ever.
they won't know the
They
T9
won't know.
struggle. They'll never
The
understand it. They'll
struggle,
never
baby, the
understand the
struggle.
T9 struggle.
I live.
But man, let me tell you, the way I used to be able to hit them buttons, I'd be texting and driving,
Okay.
girl. I would be tearing up them
Yep.
T9
All and
buttons. Man, what a
all of it
moment.
just for everyone to
What
have
a
their phone on silent
moment.
today. I hate it. I hate it here. Now everyone's phone
Uh-huh.
on silent, vibrate, D and D. No one wants to be bothered at all.
Yeah.
No one wants connection no more. Anyways, okay. Well, while y'all go and check to see whether your phones do monophonic or polyphonic ringtones, we gotta take our
Amen.
first quick break to pay our singular cell phone bill. Throwback. I love me some singular. We'll be back with more show in just a bit.
All right, y'all. So we are getting ready to head into our category is segment. And this is the segment where we talk with our guests about all the things that literally, really just shape kind of who they are, how they think about things. And so this week we're getting into what I like to believe is one of the traits that I love about, watching you on social media is just how good you are of a storyteller. You are so good. And I know it's editing and I know that there's all these different parts, right? But everything is always so consistent. And it's always like even if I know the story, I'm like, yep, yep. I'll be watching it like,
Mm-hmm.
I know, yep, I know it, I know it. And so I wanted to talk to you, I should say, we're going to talk to you this week about the ways in which the 2000s made you, how it made us, and how it kind of connects us and things. And so before we get into, so I do want to quickly say too, before we skirt off from our last segment, for those of you who had singular, who don't know what singular is, this was before, like, when cell phone minutes mattered, meaning you couldn't just
Child.
call people, you couldn't just text people, you had to wait to a specific time. And what made singular the best was the fact that singular let you roll over your time. So if you had 100 minutes in March, those 100 minutes in March would roll over into the new 500 minutes you had in April. But you also had to have good credit. And so the reason why I didn't have singular was because my credit was fucked. And I had to go with Sprint because Sprint
Real.
didn't check your credit. Again,
Real.
again, you had
Real.
to be there. You
No,
had to
no
be
one,
there.
no one knows the fight to be on what was it, my top five on T-Mobile, because
Yes.
that was
Also,
unlimited minutes and
unlimited minutes.
text
Oh
to
my
five
God, I could go
people.
for
Unlimited
hours.
minutes
That
I'm
was a
and
sorry,
fight to see
but I
who
just
was
had to
who
name
Yes.
was
that.
my five, and my parents had to be two of them, so I only had three slots of
Yes.
friends. Ooh, bitches were fighting. fighting for it.
People would fight for your top 5. Yeah, so I had to
We're
say that. I
fighting.
couldn't let that go. But I wanted to say all that before again we skirt off. I want to before we start talking about Kanye snatching trophies and Britney attacking cars with umbrellas, I would love to know or love to talk to you about representation and impact. So first, I would love to ask, like, how did the 2000s pop culture kind of shape your sense of self? And it sounds like we grew up at the same exact time. So I'm almost wondering if your response is going to be similar to the way I think about it. But I'd love to hear your
Yeah.
take on it.
Well, for me, so I was born in 1987.
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
38
Yeah.
years
Come on,
young.
buddy.
For me, it has to go back before the 2000s when I think about things that shaped me. I know we're talking about 2000s, but one thing leads to another thing, and we can't do the things without the things that come before it.
T.
Um, one of my earliest memories as a child is watching the premiere of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in
95.
the bedroom that I shared with my brother.
Mhm.
And I was really, really into the Power Rangers when I was young. This is pre-internet. This is pre. My family, we didn't have a computer at that time, but I was really into the Power Rangers. And as I got older, I grew out of it a little bit. But when I was in junior high school, we got internet. we got internet where you could actually a little bit faster than dial-up, but it was still dial-up. And I found out that the Power Rangers was a Japanese show that they had basically just taken the footage from Japan and
Copied and
Adopted
pasted
it.
it.
shot some footage
Mhm.
with Americans and rerun. I remember thinking like, that is so crazy that they could do that, and I didn't know it as a kid. And I said, I wonder if I could do that. So I used to have episodes of Power Rangers on VHS that I'd gotten when I was younger. And with this new computer that we had, I started editing my own episodes of Power Rangers.
Wow.
Love.
And I literally was like, if they can do that, they can. And this is before Premiere. This is some shitty software that came with the computer that my dad had purchased for work. And so that is how I started editing. So my day job, I'm a video editor, which kind of ties back into this whole pop culture thing.
Mhm.
And so as I started building this, I started to think about that's where I learned story, and that's where I learned basics of editing and things like that. And as I went into college, I started to study film, and that's why I have a degree in film and journalism.
Mhm.
And so this idea for me, I've always had this really, really intense curiosity about things that I think most people don't care about. Not that they don't care about, but I will get obsessive over something. If I'm watching a show and there's someone in it, I am like, that guy is on that
Uh-huh.
thing
Uh-huh.
from that thing.
Same.
And if I don't
Same.
get the answer to it, I'm going to physically be in pain. And so before the internet, I wouldn't have known that the Power Rangers was a show that was in Japan. There was no way to know this. There was no way to find out the answers to questions that you had. And so I was always really into behind the music. I was always really
Ah.
into pop-up video.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of the content that I make right now echoes sort of that idea of learning about the content that you already consume. And
Mhm.
so before, we were able to search, and it feels like an old person to say, but yeah, we remember a life before computers. We remember a life before internet.
Mhm.
And so before that time, if you had a question about, did Candy break her leg before she filmed the Don't Think I'm Not music video, you might never get your
Right.
answer. But now we have all of this information at our disposals. And
Mhm.
so really, from that Power Rangers episode to the advent of the internet, really the accessibility to information is really what has shaped and informed
Mm.
the content that I make. I think that we have a wealth of information at our fingertips. And a lot of the things that I post about, a lot of the content that I post about are things that either I might have heard about back in the 2000s and then finally get down and verified. And the first thing that I posted that kind of got big was that Luther Vandross did a cover of Work It by Missy Elliott at a concert.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's something that I was vaguely aware of, but I was getting a lot of people commenting like, I didn't even know that Luther Vandross was alive at the same time as Missy Elliott.
What?
Yes.
No
we all
idea.
we all have access to this information and this power, but I think it's just so interesting. And so I just started by kind of saying, you know what are these things that we remember? I think nostalgia is really powerful. I think that for those, even if you didn't have a great childhood growing up, that idea of being safe and having something that's home and comforting to you
Yeah.
lies in memories. And
Mhm.
so a lot of the content that I do from that era is based off of things that I just think it's fun to remember. I think the intricacies of how the media that we consume is made is
Mm.
interesting. I think the interpersonnel between, you know, a post that I did recently was about the VH1 divas, and how there was drama all through up and out that
Mm.
bitch. And
Mhm.
I think that's so interesting. I just think I think it's interesting. It's these
Mhm.
people who are at the top of their game. They're doing things, and it's something that was so legendary, but there's still this information that lives on, and still, I mean, it doesn't. Mariah Carey being upset at Celine Dion for the past 20 years doesn't really do anything to me,
Mhm.
but it doesn't affect my life in any real meaningful way. But when I listen to their music,
Yeah.
it takes me there. It adds the flavor, it adds the texture. And so that's kind of that's why I make the content that I do, the 2000s and the entire decade and the time that's around it. Because I'm a firm believer of the fact that decades kind of run into each other.
Mm.
Like the last 3 years of the 80s and the like are the 90s. Like
Mhm.
you can't just say this is 2000, like January 1st
Yeah.
2000 is,
No.
you know.
It was
And so
right,
there's
right,
bleed
right.
over.
Yeah.
And
98
there's
is
a
what made 2001 and 2002.
Mm.
right,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's difficult, and we have to look at things linearly because we're humans, and it makes sense to us to say, okay, this is a decade. But
Mhm.
a lot of the things that we feel are from different eras are influenced by the previous eras, and so
Mhm.
it's all connected. And I just want to find out everything about everything.
You know what I
Mhm.
think is really special and unique about what you create on here is that, and I love what you just said too, because it's like it clicked for me of like, oh, you are like you're providing more context to something. Like we have a very
Mhm.
we have a very specific picture in time of what was like shown to us or given to us, and you really help explore background. You really help explore like backstory. Like you get to like if this was a picture, right? We media delivers us the outline, but you actually help color in and show us the strokes of it, which is really special and amazing. And so I'm curious to ask you,
Mhm.
like, well, like, when did you realize that it was going to be successful to do that? Like, because in some ways, like, the content is both like like it's niche in the sense of people wouldn't have thought about it like from jump, but also
Mhm.
highly focused because you're like, oh, I never thought about that, and now I like need to know as well too. So like, yeah, that's like,
Mhm.
what was the moment where you're like, there's something actually really here about sharing this, with the greater
Mhm.
world.
Mhm.
What is wild to me, I have been creating content on the internet in a professional capacity since 2010. I
Mhm.
used to be a YouTuber
Mhm.
way back in the day. I've lived a lot of different lives on the internet. I got paid to build content on the internet, and I've done it consistently in
Mhm.
different capacities since 2010. Um, I did not have any traction on the bulk of my content until this past April. I didn't start making this content until April of
Mm.
2025. Right now it's September 2025. I had spent a lot of time trying to be a lifestyle influencer.
Mm.
um I at one point I was trying to do sort of fashion. I'm still signed. I don't get booked a lot, but I'm still signed. I'm a big and tall model.
Mm.
Mhm.
I lost a little bit of weight, and now I kind of feel like I don't fit in the industry. I'm not big enough to be big, but I'm still tall, and so people don't put
Mm.
me near. So that's the whole thing. So anyway, I've been kind of creating content for the past several decades. I feel like, and hadn't really popped off. I didn't feel. And this year I gave myself a goal to create content. I was one of those people who's always like, you know what? If TikTok would have been around when I was in college, I would have been running TikTok. Like, because
Yes.
there's benefit,
Mhm.
because when I was in college, I didn't have access to a camera. The only
Right.
camera I had access to
Same.
is because I was a film
Mm.
student and
Mhm.
I could check a camera out. But I didn't iPhones.
No.
The first iPhone came out when I was, I think, a junior in college. And so I was like, if I was young and TikTok was fresh and I was living with like tens of thousands of people who were like-minded like me, I was like, I would have been running this shit. And so I said, let me put my money where my mouth is. And I gave myself a task to start creating content. And this was April. So I had a decent amount of to give, I guess, numbers content. People like numbers. I had 48,000 followers in April, which is not an insignificant amount of followers. I don't want to shit over that, but my content did not have traction. I didn't have movement in what I was posting, and I was trying to do lifestyle. And I found that some people lifestyle is easy. That's like, I'm going to come with me to go grocery shopping, or like come to me to do these things. And I was like, I don't actually like doing that type of content. I work as a video producer. And one of the things that was really bogging me down is that I spend a lot of time trying to make things perfect. I work in production professionally as my day job. And so I spend time on projects. I shoot things, I edit things, everything that you see, I edit. And if you were to ask me who I am, I'm a storyteller who tells stories through video, who is an editor. I'm a video editor. That is what I get paid for. That's my day job. That's what I do. I'm a video editor. And so I was like, what is it that I can do that is germane to the things that I like, but also combines what I like into something that's visual. My husband is he's an illustrator. He's an author illustrator. He has books out. I remember being, I was like, God, I wish I did something visual. Like, you're so lucky. Like, you could do like a time lapse. You could do all these things. And so I gave myself a challenge to start making content. In April, I said, I'm going to make 4 pieces of content a week, and I'm going to try shit. The very first thing I did was a review of the Popeyes pickle chicken sandwich. I sat in my car and I ate a sandwich. I said, maybe this will be the thing. It wasn't, but people like watching me eat the sandwich. And I just went through it, and I was like, I was like, I'm gonna try gym content. I'm gonna try these different things. I remember one day, the biggest thing that sort of unlocked it for me is I gave myself willingness and space to create. I said, I'm going to create something. I'm going to spend 2 or 3 hours on this every single day. It may not be good. It might not be great, but I'm going to create something. And I was like trying to be like, I was like, okay, maybe I went and got French tip nails done with my friends. And I hated it, by the way. I do not like having, it was too much, and they grew, and I was like, and then I had to go back to the place. Nobody tells you that when you get your nails done, you have to keep going back.
Me and Joe,
nobody told me. I know. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I was like, nobody told me this.
Maintenance is required.
I was like building content around that.
Feel. Yes.
Yeah. And so I was building content around that, and I saw someone had posted something about Diana Ross had done a cover of "All I Do Is Win" by DJ Khaled, which I thought was hilarious.
Right.
That Tracy Ellis Ross's mama is up there singing "All I Do Is Win, Win, Win," no matter what. And I made a post about it, and I was like, that'll be my post for today, and it did really well. And I was like, okay, people like this thing that I'm posting about. So then I leaned into that, and so for the next 2 or 3 weeks, all I did was, hey, remember that time? And I found these clips. I found Patti LaBelle did a cover of "Doo Wop That Thing" by Lauryn Hill, in concert. And I was finding these grainy videos from like the 80s and the 90s. And it was doing really well, but I was like, child, I'm about to run out. Like, there's only so many videos I can find of Aretha Franklin singing "Touch My Body." Like, there's only so much
body. Yeah.
And so I sat down and I was like, okay, how can I tell a different type of story? How can I do something that's more than, remember that time that Steve did this? And so I started to sit down and I was like, okay, how can I start to build something that would be something that I would watch, like a behind the music, something that would give me perspective about a piece of content that I was really familiar with. I think one of the first things that I did was, did you know that the song "Cinderella" by the Cheetah Girls was the third of 5 versions of it? They were the third group to sing Cinderella.
Wow.
Which I was like, I always think covers are interesting. I always think when other people had songs, I think that whole interchange is so interesting. And I made that, and people really responded to it. And so in April, I started with 48,000 followers. I just hit 116,000 in this time, which, and I say that not to brag or to be like, but I, as someone who's been doing this for multiple decades, didn't really lock into what worked for me until this year. And for me, what really worked was figuring out, okay, what is it that I actually like? Because the content that I make, I like. I would still talk about it if nobody watched it. I probably wouldn't spend as much time on it, but I would still make content like this. I would still go to my friends and bore them with these facts. And they're not bored, but they'll just be like, okay, DeAndré, yes. We know that Eden's Crush did record the one song that they had in Spanish. I found a community of people online who really are into finding out that, I didn't know that Toni Braxton recorded Unbreak My Heart in Spanish. Not only did she record it in Spanish, she recorded, like, she lip synced, she did a new music video
Yep.
for it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild to think
Mhm.
about. And so, I kind of funneled that energy and that excitement of finding out something about a song that I've loved for decades into that. That's
You
the
know that
feeling that I'm
Mhm.
hoping to
extra
bottle
thing.
when
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
right, because it's something that you already like, but knowing how the sausage is made is sometimes really fun,
Mhm.
especially if you like sausage, girl.
How you doing?
How you
Yeah.
doing,
How you
Uh-huh.
doing?
Uh-huh.
honey?
Yeah. I appreciate you giving us all the tea on 3LW and the bucket of chicken, the chicken gate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that tea. I know a lot of it. I was
That
not, I
shit
mean, I
was
was an
funny.
avid 106 in Park watcher. So I remember the split and I remember the mess of it all.
The
But
drama,
I
honey.
definitely didn't. Yeah, there are some things, and even I think the thing I appreciate about your content is even when I know about something, there are still sometimes moments where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that intricate, like that intricate piece. And
Mm.
so, and I know it's a lot of research and I know it's a lot of work. And so I do want to say thank you for just creating content that's not always so like I mean, and I believe this to my heart. Like, I believe there are people who are creating, we have the Blair Monis in the world, and we have a lot of Black queer creators who are creating really, like, really informational things that people need to know. But sometimes that shit can be heavy. And so it's nice to be able
Yes.
to just
Yeah.
Mm.
really tune in to somebody to talk about something real quick in pop culture. And it
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it's not. I definitely want to say this to folks who are listening and thinking, oh, my passion for reality TV or my passion for pop culture is not a real thing or it is not lauded the way that we treat other journalism. No, it's still journalism. It's just
Mhm.
pop cultural critique. It's pop culture. And so I want to say, like, I just appreciate that you are willing to, put so much of yourself into this. And I appreciate and I'm really excited to see that it continue to keep growing. So we're gonna get into a little bit of the silly. I was gonna ask you a really, really kind of like deeper question, but I honestly don't feel like we really need to go there because
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like we do it all the time. And I feel like
Mm.
this is like, we want to keep the fun here. So I want to keep the fun in it all. And I'm thinking about it. We're going to move some things around. So I'm going to ask this question that's originally supposed to be for you, Joho, and then you can ask the question below it. And then we can go ahead and move on to the next segment. So I'm going to ask you MySpace, Zanga,
Ooh,
Black
ooh,
Planet, Live
Ooh.
Journal, MTV Chat, or AIM. Which
Ooh.
one meant the most to you and
And what were
why?
your screen names?
What were your screen names?
oh
Great,
my
great add-on. That's why I
god.
love my girl. She gonna always come through with an add-on.
Oh my god. Well, the thing is because I can't dox myself because how, like, sometimes you get a screen name and then you just use it for the rest of your
Forever.
life.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
And why it not be my might not be my current screen name, it might be an
An
alias
alias
of a
of something.
previous
Yeah, 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 yeah,
a
yeah.
little sneaky freaky.
How you doing? Yes.
I don't know. And I was
Uh-huh.
an AIM girly. I was a big fan of the AOL Instant Messenger.
Same.
Everybody in all the kids in my school were on AIM, and we would go. I would spend hours crafting my away
Same.
message.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing that I feel like people really don't understand that I think generations that come after us will understand is how we had to learn how to be coders just out of
Mhm.
necessity of how the internet
Mhm.
worked.
Yes.
We had to know how to. I was building websites, and it's like you learn HTML just by, oh, I want to change the background on my WordPress. Like, how do
Mm-hmm.
I do
Mhm.
I
that?
don't
How
want
do I
the
go
I
in?
don't want
And
the hearts to fall from the top. I want them to
right.
come up from the
Mhm.
bottom. Yes. I got to
and
change the
and so there's a lot
positioning.
of time where you
Mm-hmm.
would where you would just go in and you would fiddle with things. And I know in your aim away message you could set things like there's little commands that you could do where it would like show the person's name. There was that little AI bot called Smarter Child. Does anyone remember
I
Smarter Child?
don't.
There was someone on
Mm.
AOL Instant Messenger that you could message that's
Yes.
an AI bot, and this was like 2000s.
Oh,
And they would like you could ask it
it
questions and it
also
would
chat can
It was like
run.
respond.
an
And it wasn't
XG.
AI in
Mm.
the way
It was like an
yeah, it wasn't
XG.
AI in
Yeah.
the way that we are now, but it was like and so that was really cool. And I would customize my way and I would like shout out to people. I would have music playing. And I still hear that little noise when someone leaves, that little
The
door
door
closing or
closed.
the door
Yeah.
opening, the little creak. Yeah.
Whenever my see, I'm about to give so much away. there was a certain sound I would have when my hookup would get on AIM. And so whenever he came on, I would always be like, oop, it's going down in the dorm rooms tonight. It's going, because I knew what that sound meant, honey. I knew what that sound was. How you doing?
John.
Yes, girl, used to get my life. But definitely there for AIM. I found a lot of love in MTV chats in the early 90s. If you have to be a certain girl of a certain
I knew
age.
that.
MTV
I was like, MTV chats. I didn't know that existed.
MTV chat was a thing, girl. That's actually how I found one of my old school friend, like a friend of mine. We're not friends now, but back in the heyday when MTV chat was a thing, I met them in one of the chats and we started pen paling each other. And then they moved to they moved to the same city I was living in. And then we just became friends. We were friends in college for a short time. And then our friendship just kind of dissipated. But that was one of the cooler things of like, I will also say that about the going from the end of the 90s into the 2000s. It was really cool because I think also for us as queer people, you know, you weren't safe often, right, in your town. You weren't safe in your school. You weren't safe in certain spaces. And so when AOL came out with AIM and when Yahoo came out with Messenger and they created those chat rooms, it became an opportunity for you to be able to find community. Even if the community was far, you could still sit and chat with somebody who was in like New York and still find that community and things. And so I will give it that and say, like, as much as we may talk shit about, you know, early social media in a lot of ways saved a lot of queer people, specifically queer Black people, in a time when you honestly didn't really have community. So yeah, that's
such a great point. And, you know, and I think like, but like the social media of today has a whole different purpose than that of before, right? Because like the social media of yesteryear was about simply just messaging, and you know, it was like very simplistic, and like now it's like all kinds of complex and nuance, or people trying the way people show up and use it is to try and have those complexity, but like things are very simple. Like it was just a gift or a privilege to message somebody that was literally the next door to you, right? Now it's an expectation. You think it's a right that we can just message somebody from across the world, but like at that point in time, it was like a huge privilege. Like, we were like living in the times of wonder. Like, this is so amazing to see and hear. And so I mean, like I agree. Like that stuff did save people's lives. It gave us the chance to touch people beyond what we saw in front of our eyes in our direct area, where we often could have felt nervous, scared, or unsafe, right? And like, and so again, like the, it's so, because I feel like I'm turning to my parents like back in my day, but like now like
all of us were old.
Well, I understand. I understand now why my parents would say that. Like, I understand that there are some things that you actually do wish for that was back in the day, because things meant like they meant something different. They were easier, they're simpler. And I think also that points to what you do to DeAndré. Like, you bring up like very like unexpected joys. And you get, so the it's not just that like nostalgia is compelling, because it is compelling, but it's not just that. It's that you give people like unexpected joys, especially in a time where like joy is hard to come by. And you do it in like such beautiful and thoughtful ways. It's really, really, really special. As a small detour, but still in the Y2K framework, as y'all know, may or may not know, but I'm sure you do all know, we love to discuss food on the show, because like, hello, we two big girls, and we love some food. And so and so we're curious to ask, what was one of your favorite snacks, and was it discontinued? And if so, what's something that you wish that they would bring back? Now, this was John's question before. So John had a few things. They had ninja turtle pies, which I had no idea existed.
Yes.
But they had custard in them, which sounds amazing.
I remember those.
And then John wants to pop off about Fruitopia. John,
I will wait.
So, talk about it.
Yes. So let me talk to you for a quick second, and then we'll throw it back to you, DeAndré. Fruitopia, Minute Maid. If somebody listens to this show and works for Minute Maid, I'm not letting this go. I will say this. I was part of the reason why McDonald's brought back the High C Orange, because I wouldn't let that go.
Oh God!
I was that when they got rid of it, I used my platform to rally, and they eventually brought it back because of me. So Minute Maid,
Glory.
I will do the same thing if I have to. I will
Wait,
show
give me
up.
fact check.
I,
Wait,
no, I'm being dead
really?
serious. They sent me a box and
I'm
everything. McDonald's sent me.
screaming.
I still have the box. They sent me a box of all high C things,
John,
basically
our
saying,
high C
"Girl, get out of
champion.
leave us alone." That is literally what McDonald's did. They said, "Please, I have my manager who can fact check this." They
Yes.
literally sent me a box with a letter saying, "We are bringing it back because of your petition and because of the work you've done around this."
John, yes.
I had nothing else to do during the pandemic. What else did I
This is the
have to
justice
do?
we talk about. We talk about justice.
Yeah, so I was like, I have nothing else to do, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
rally around them bringing back High C Orange. So anyway, I will do the same thing for Fruitopia. Fruitopia was the best fucking thing to ever come out of the 2000s. The different flavors. The fact that, so High C, the problem with High C is that it never gets cold. Fruitopia got cold. It was tasty. I just bring back Fruitopia. I'll let it go. What snack for you would you want folks to bring back?
I've got two. They used to sell Rice Krispies treats cereal.
Oh,
Which they brought back, but I
Oh.
don't know if it's the same. I think there's and so it wasn't Rice Krispie, it was Rice Krispie like
yes, it was clumps of Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispie
Yes.
treats.
Oh, you touched me
Um,
somewhere special. Oh.
that and I do believe in 3D Doritos. I think that they were better than regular Doritos,
They were.
and they brought them back at some point, but they weren't the same. I don't know if they just destroyed all the machinery that made them, but
Yeah.
Rice Krispies treats cereal
Yes.
and 3D Doritos.
You are literally a person of my heart for saying that. Oh, such taste that you have. I just the icon. You know, she's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Now come on now.
Last question before we skirt out of this segment: is there an artist from the 2000s that you wish got more love?
Yes. And that artist is JoJo. I think and the thing is obviously by
Not
virtue of the fact
Siwa.
that we're talking about her,
Not
like
Siwa.
she and not Siwa. I hate that we have to clarify. It used to be Casey and JoJo or the white girl.
Yeah.
Now it's the white girl or the white girl.
Yeah.
And I
Not JoJo
like it.
Siwa.
The white girl. And I think that she people recognize her as, you know, a star and an icon, but I think that she just got dealt a bad hand with her record label and them not releasing her music. She gave us bops at age 13, which not many of the girls can do. And I'm glad to see that she's having a resurgence. I listened to her audiobook. It was fantastic. And I think that she has a beautiful, incredible, iconic voice. And I want more JoJo.
Yeah, she definitely deserves.
Agreed.
I love that. I agree. Yeah, even some of her newer stuff is probably, in my opinion, better than a lot of her older stuff. And I genuinely do believe that she is one of the ones that I really wish. I would also say that I think that the kids, it came on one of my Peloton rides. They were dancing out. It was like 18 of them, and they were all they were like multicultural, and they got paid pennies, but they deserve so much better than what they got. They were a band. What was the name of that damn band? Were they from the UK? Oh, what was the name of them? This is gonna drive me crazy. Joey, can you help me here? S Club 7. That's what it was.
Girl, okay.
Because I literally
Googled
Googled S Club 7. So I bet you S Club 7.
Yes. S Club 7. S Club
I have them
7.
in fact, I definitely
They
know what it is, I think it
deserve
is.
so much better. They deserve so much better.
Well, honey, if you want some tea on them, you know the lead girl, she got put off of Big Brother UK. I only know this because of my UK girls, because you know I don't watch. You can't watch everything.
You can't.
But she got put off of UK Big Brother for being racist towards an Indian person. So I haven't forgiven her for that for a while. And they had they had like a reunion to it, and I feel like Bradley is still in those cornrows. I was like, I don't know.
No, God, no.
In the UK, or what they had, maybe it has not progressed.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I've had a vendetta against her for a little while.
That's fair. That's actually fair. There's still quite a few people from the 2000s that I have a vendetta against. I'm not gonna name them publicly because I am somewhat of a public figure, but I will say I also feel
Mhm.
you on that. But with that being said, now that we have got you frantically looking for episodes of The Surreal Life, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to see how much DeAndre really knows or wants to talk about in regards to the Y2K. We'll be back in a second.
Just real quick, did you know that one of them died? One
No.
of them died.
Yes.
Paul.
The gay. I think it was, I don't think it was the gay one. It was the one that wasn't the gay one.
There's a gay one? I don't know.
Oh, damn.
Paul,
Yeah.
Catamoli.
Yeah. There are two white boys, two random girls who
That
really didn't
part.
do
And then
anything.
the
I'm
black guy,
sorry.
right?
And and then the lead singer and Black
Black
Bradley.
Bradley.
Black Bradley.
Black. Black Bradley, bitch. I'm
Black
done.
Bradley.
Get off my line. No.
Get. I hate
It's
you
taking me
so
down.
much.
Ooh, ooh,
Uh,
ooh, Okay.
you said Black Bradley.
Okay, we are back, fam.
I hate it here.
We are back and we are black as always. And often we like to talk about pop culture with our guests. We do every episode. And to keep this episode lighthearted, because we know that the world is a fucking zoo, we want to focus this week's What's Poppin', ask our sister, what is a Y2K trend? For me, it is low-rise jeans. That's it. Never has to come back. Doesn't belong anywhere. Fat phobic as hell.
Aren't they back
I did
though?
not need to see a low-rise jean ever again in my life. I did not need to see someone song pick it out. Like, you're by your choice, what you gotta
Booty
do.
crack.
But low-rise jeans were they had no, there was no good effect on the world. The world's not
No
better for a
rhyme or
low-rise
reason.
jean. The world's worse for it. I think we should just leave them where they were, call it a good damn day. Personally.
Yeah, but aren't they back?
That's
Aren't
why I
low-rise jeans
said low
back?
rise jean. Okay, never want to see it come back. I see they're trying to peep out. They're trying to do a little resurgence. But like that thong, I'm gonna tell you, put it away. Put it away. I don't have time for today. Put it away.
I can see you tapping somebody and being like, "Baby, go home and change your pants. Go
that part.
home.
Put it away.
Go
That
change
part.
your
Put it
pants."
Anyways, DeAndre, how
What
about you?
about you, DeAndre?
I'm probably gonna drag for this because they are also seeming to be on trend, but super gigantic wide leg pants.
Yeah.
Fashion is cyclical, and it seems like we're going from the skinny jeans of the past to other extreme of huge wide leg pants.
Now why am I in this? Like why what why you gotta bring me into it?
No, why am I? You see how you get thrown into
I
things?
understand.
When I that was the look, and they're also because we had like goths and we had emos. I'm sure your high school had lots of subcultures, but we had one, and they just had the huge those Jinko pants, and they were huge.
Yeah.
They're huge and they're white, and I fear we're going back towards
We
those.
are.
I don't know if my petite frame can handle all of that.
Yeah. She's
so small.
Yes. Oh, my hips. They're so small. I don't know.
What's also coming back because of that, which I thought we had eradicated in 2005. You know when your pants are too big down by the hem and they drag, and so remember that you used to do the
cut
split
up.
up the side.
The
You gotta
cut
stop
up.
doing that, and then you safety pin it so it to come up, and so all of that's coming back.
I saw a kid. I actually was at the mall this weekend. Past weekend, I was picking up something, and the kid in front of me in line. I want to say kid disrespectfully, but I think they were younger than me. They had on those type of pants, and I was like, "Oh, it's back. Okay, got it.
It's back." And they say that that's the way that people can tell that you're a millennial is if you're wearing ankle socks and skinny jeans. And I'm not super susceptible to trends, but I got rid of all my ankle socks.
Because
every single one of them. I gave into the peer pressure.
So now, what do you have? Long socks?
I got
a tube sock.
Actually, they're kind of sexy. Also,
Please
I
do
also think,
yeah,
a tube sock that goes up to the calf.
I know that's right. Okay,
and I switched those, and I was like, okay, this actually has the benefit of being kind of like a little like cunty and
not
sexy,
if you're a wide calf bitch. Some of y'all getting out wide calves and it shows. It shows y'all got some wide calves. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it
No,
is.
I still have my cutoffs, and I definitely am still wearing skinny jeans because let me tell you, shopping as a big girl, you can't just be going through trends to go through trends
Okay.
because it's hard to find
Mhm.
clothes that you like. And so I like my clothes, and
That's right.
they are literally going to stay the way that they are. And if you don't like it, send me some money and I will change them. But I will say this about me. For me, the trend I never want to see come back, and I know we are probably going to I know I'll probably catch hell for this. Um I I'm just gonna say it. I was gonna ask Chris to bleep it, but it is what it is. Miss Tina, I don't ever need you to make any clothes for anybody else. I I love you. I love you to death, Miss Tina. You can do the hell out of some hair. You can style the hell out of anything.
Mm.
But baby, stay away from the sewing machine. Can we talk about some of Destiny's Child's looks?
Shake it there, in the house of Darion.
Oh,
Shake it there, in the house of
was
Darion. Well, child, okay.
nobody was at the house of Darion's because those jeans were fucking ugly. They were
First,
that's all I'm gonna
Well,
say.
on that note, now
So I
that
don't get in
John has
trouble.
officially kept us from being
Mhm.
invited backstage to Beyonce Act 3 and possibly to Puerto Rico for Bad Bunny's Flex as well, we have one more break to take, and we'll be back with Yes Ma'am and No Man Pam's with our guests. Back in a sec.
All right. So this week I'll be transparent and saying I really don't have any yes ma'ams because there's just been so much shit happening. And I don't really necessarily I just haven't really had time to stop and be like, oh, this amazing thing is happening. Yay. So I'll just want to shout out DeAndre. I think, folks like yourself who I'll just say this. Maybe, you know what? I do have a yes ma'am. My yes ma'am is folks like DeAndre and so many of us who are creators that are constantly betting on themselves, even when they feel like there's no market, or we're being told there's not a market for us. Also, I want to yes ma'am us. This is going to be the opportunity for me to say our podcast is nominated for 2 motherfucking Signal
Okay,
Awards.
gang, gang.
Talking about betting on yourself, right? After being told that for multiple times, there's no market for a podcast like yours. Well, there is, and Signal is it has nominated us to remind us that there is. So I just want to say shout
The
out to those who
listeners, because it's the
continue
Listener
to
Choice
bet.
Award. The listeners have
Amen.
nominated us for it as
Yes.
well, too. People who listen
Amen.
to us,
Amen.
okay?
Yes, 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 yes.
Mm,
So shout out
mm.
to them. My no man Pam this week. I'm just gonna say it. I am a true fan of Apple. Y'all know this. And I still upgraded, and I know a lot of people got on my ass, about what's going on in Congo. I get it. I understand. Am I the drama? Am I Cardi B in this moment? Probably, right? Y'all, you judge your mama. But I did upgrade. What I will say is I don't love the design of the new iPhone 17 Pro Max. I think it's ugly. Um, and then I could get over the design if the colors were better. But the fact that they left us with those 3 ugly ass colors, I just, Tim Cook, baby, just come outside. That's all. Just come outside. I
I
just want to
thought you
talk.
loved the Cosmic Orange.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm happy. I'm happy that it matches my AirPods. Uh, That's
Got it.
about that's about as much as it's giving. It's ugly. It's just ugly, and I wish, and so I'm still in that week that I could go back to Apple and exchange it if I want. I've been dancing with the idea of going back and getting the Air. I told myself if I still feel this way by Saturday, I'm gonna go probably trade it in and get the Air.
Well, but
Because I
isn't the
just
air like
hmm,
not
smaller,
just smaller,
yes.
but it's isn't like not as advanced?
Right, but at the same time, I don't use my Pro for all of the features that
Oh,
it
okay.
has. I'm not that girl that's like filming
Okay,
stuff. I'm
okay,
not the
okay.
girl I'm not putting out 4 videos a week
Okay.
like DeAndre. I'm just not. And so this is about as much video as y'all gonna get out of me is from this show. That's it. So I told myself, I said, I could go back to being a sort of a minimalist, in order to actually love my phone. And I think the Air, I've actually held the Air. I think I think it's cute. I think it may be what I need for this moment, but I don't love, I want to know what the thought process was behind behind this generation. That's all. That's all. DeAndre, what are your yes ma'ams and your no ma'ams for this week?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I guess in general, it's there's a lot of bad things going on, but we've got breath in our bodies. The sun is shining, and we can smile. And so that is my yes, ma'am. We got food in the refrigerator, and we got a little bit of money in the bank. I can supersize it sometimes when I feel like it, and that's what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
I know, ma'am. Actually, I would like to read someone very specifically, and she knows who she
Point
is.
to her.
Okay. All right. I received an email. I'm going to drag this woman. I'm not going to say her name. I received an email from a woman, and she said, "Hi, I manage people at Comic-Con conventions, and I would like to reach out to you about an opportunity." I said to myself, I don't know what I would do at a Comic-Con convention,
Right.
but I'm not in. I'm very much. If you send me an email and you want to work with me, I'm gonna hear you out. I'm gonna see what it is you have to offer, even if I think that it's not the right fit. Let's just have a conversation and see. So after we rescheduled the meeting like twice because she ain't show up and she missed the first one. So I was like, okay, that's the first red flag, but I'm gonna be nice and just hear what this person has to say. I call her on my lunch break and I'm sitting in my car eating a cauliflower pizza because that's my life. And so I call this woman. I'm like, hi, I just wanted to, follow up with you about this opportunity. And she said, well, first, I just need to clear something up. Were you or were you not in Sister Act 2?
What?
And I said, ma'am, what are you talking about? And so I had posted
Did she think you were Jamal?
a month and a half ago. I had posted a clip from Sister Act 2. This woman somehow extrapolated from this that I was in the film Sister Act 2. And so I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, well, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it because I feel misled. I was like, how do you feel misled? You reached out to me. like you asked me to go. And nothing about anything that I have in my life or on my social. I even went back to look at the post and see if in the post, because I posted the end of Sister Act 2 where they're singing Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, did I say in the post, wow, I love filming this with Whoopi Goldberg 20 years ago. I did it. This woman had just somehow gotten in her mind that I was a Sister Act 2. And I was upset. I hung up on her at the end of the call because she was like, well, I'm glad that we got a chance to straighten this out. I was like, there's nothing to straighten out.
Ma'am, you didn't do your research.
You wasted all of our time,
Yeah.
like multiple times. Anyway, so you're my no, ma'am. You know who you are. Get it together. Really get it together because you wasted a lot of my time and energy.
I can't.
Today. Not today, whatever she called me.
Were you in
who did she think you were? Did she think? Who she think you were?
I think she thought I was the Happy Day, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know what. There's nothing on my profile. Like my bio doesn't say Asking in Sister Act 2.
I just changed the title of this episode from Bringing Back Utopia to Were You in Sister Act 2. That's going to be the title of this episode because it has to be.
Oh my God.
Stupid. Were you in Sister Act?
I was like, you literally could have gone on IMDb and done the basic amount of research to find out.
Stupid.
Oh my God. That's
stupid.
And she was a white lady, so maybe she thinks all of us are the same person. Maybe we are all
could.
We say. I was just like, ma'am.
I was like, I love it.
It's 2025.
I love that
we have tools.
Like, I'm glad we cleared the air as if it was her call in the first place. Well, I'm glad we wrapped this up, girl. I called you for a discussion on the original subject matter. What do you mean? You what?
Gosh, people be bold.
The one that they have is audacity.
Ever since we weren't raptured, people have been very bold.
Okay, I love when I tell people like I'll call them, and then at the end of the call they'll be like, "Well, thanks for picking up," and I'm like, "I called you, girl. You didn't call. Right. No, I called the meeting, not you. Relax. Don't think you're somebody else right now.
Yes,
I called the meeting.
Right.
Anyways, okay. My yes ma'am. So my yes ma'am, Pam. I don't know if y'all watch these videos, but there's this woman who be rating party dishes. She just rate like
Yes.
Love her.
it was
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
She's like 10 trees planted in your honor by like whatever, right?
Yes.
It was bad.
Uh-huh.
She's like 36 daggers to the chest
Mhm.
to you and your lawyer,
Next.
and
Mhm.
like and your dog
And to
next,
your
and
Uber
your Uber driver
driver.
next.
Yes.
And first of all,
Next.
who was taking
Mhm.
Uber to the court? Like, I have a question. Who's taking Uber to court? I live. Whoever she is, girl, I live for
Uh-huh.
you. She makes me laugh. Also, some of the dishes people make are hilarious. I'm like, what is this dish? And
T.
I love
T.
I love when she's ready to plant trees in someone's honor. I live. Wherever you are, girl, I love you
Mhm.
so much.
Can we also speaking of black TikTokers that we love, I also want to shout out, I don't know the name of the girl, but there's this one TikToker slash creator who's constantly throwing shade at J-Lo. Any opportunity that she gets a chance to take a dig at J-Lo, she does, and I just want to
I know
celebrate
who she
her
is.
because she's doing God's work. But yes, that woman and the other TikToker, big yes to them.
I'm
Mhm.
screaming. My no ma'am
Yes.
Pam. Okay, so is also to what's happening with TikTok, because our governments needs to get their hands on it. Just no ma'am Pam to that. Like let TikTok just be itself. Why do you have to? Why do you have to make that I understand that they're trying to frame it as like a security risk. Baby, I don't feel more secure with you doing it. I don't
Nope.
feel more secure with the American government touching TikTok. Like I actually
Mm.
felt better about it before. It's I'm tired. I'm so tired of like seeing trials or sessions where like everyone's telling you we don't want this, and the government's like heard
We're gonna
we're
do it
gonna do it
anyway.
anyway. So like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
why am I ask me, girl? It makes no sense. Just to tell me no. Like, why am I ask my
Mhm.
opinions? Like, I hate it here. I hate it here. Rapture.
Mhm.
Might you come back again and try just like one more time for us
Next
next week?
week. There's
Allegedly.
always next
Whew.
week. There's always the week after that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Please
Allegedly.
keep coming. Keep trying, baby. We just
Whew.
we need you to come on down here. But with that being said, you can just like the Rapture, you can find us online. You can send us your thoughts, your feedback, and your emails down to the blackfatfempodcast@gmail.com. You can also send us your thoughts via social media by interacting with our posts on Instagram and threads. And while we are here talking about that, you can also head over to our web links. All of the links are everywhere to vote for us. You have to literally, it's little 2 seconds. You click a button, you sign in, you hit the vote. It tells you how many votes we got. Please head over to Signal Awards to vote for us, or head over to our Instagram channel and our Thread channel. Click the link, head over and vote. Your votes matter. We are in the category for Best Diversity and Inclusion Podcast, as well as Best LGBTQ Podcast. So please feel free to give us a click. It takes 2 seconds. It can definitely change our lives. We greatly appreciate all of the love and support. And thank you to everybody at iHeart for helping us get there. So we really, truly appreciate it. DeAndré, where can the dolls find you?
The Duels, Protect the
Mm.
Duels, can find me on the internet at DeAndre the Giant, like Megan the
Period.
Stallion. Any place where fine social media content is found.
Amen, amen, amen. Queen Joho, where can the
Sorry,
dolls find you?
just speaking about protect the dolls real quick. Can I just
Yeah, talk about the story. Talk about that
I just want to
story.
shout me. I just want to shout myself out real quick about this. So okay,
It's an update though. Wait, because you shared about it on the show
yes,
and you were like, I don't know what's going to come from it. So now
yes.
we have an update.
So
Yes.
as for a few episodes ago, I shared about there was a store near me that was selling Protect the Dolls t-shirts. I asked them, "Do you donate to any proceeds to queer spaces?" They said no. They don't know what the vendors do either. And I was like, "You should mark this thing down or like not sell it because you're selling this messaging for for no reason." So
Mhm.
I messaged I DM me them on Instagram. I was like, nothing's gonna come of it at all. They won't say anything about it. And and last week, a week later after I messaged them, they responded back to me. Because I made a complaint with the team at the store, and they messaged me and were like, we got your message. We're sorry for this misstep. We understand that it was misstep when we bought the shirts. like we thought the messaging was relevant to us and our audience, and like yes, it is, but we did not realize like what it actually meant and how it actually isn't, and like how it actually is meant to serve and protect queer and trans folks, particularly trans folks. And so from this, we are now going to donate 30% of every shirt sale to the local queer center, which I mean is a small amount, but like it's much more than what they were doing before. And I
Right.
and I'm very happy that they received the message and that response, because I mean, truth in the day, like businesses like they don't owe you legally a response. I appreciate that they socially did, and I was careful, like I made a point, I didn't name them publicly. I didn't draw them or attack them. Like I
Right.
wanted to, like, oh,
Right.
let me handle it. Like let me see if I can handle it privately first before anything. If they respond no, then I'll post about it publicly. Call it a good day, right?
Mhm.
And so I was very very happy and proud for them that they received that feedback and said we will make the changes. They also said that they're gonna reach out to the supplier, see if they will make those changes too. Whether the supplier does or does not,
Mm.
really isn't gonna be it's not about them or me or whatever. But I'm very happy that they took that directive, and I will be checking up with the said organization to make sure that they did get donations from that business. So I'm gonna say, hey,
I know
they
that's
said that
right.
they would donate to you. End of your campaign. I need to know, did they donate to you or not? If not, girl,
If they run
if
you a
they
check,
okay,
girl.
if they run the dolls some checks, let me know. If they do not run the dolls some checks, let me know and I will find them. So yeah,
Yes.
go me, and go them. Yeah,
Yes.
just that.
And that's just a great like literally for those of you who are feeling right now like you're like, "Oh, nothing I do makes a
Mm-hmm.
difference." It does. It's the little shit, the little moments when you go, this is not right." That may even if you feel like you're not going to make a big difference, little stuff like that does. So shout out, I mean again, we don't want to pat ourselves on the back always for doing good work, but these are the moments like Joho, like this is you should feel good because you
I
took a
did.
moment to truly protect the dolls, and boom, like look where you're at, right? Like now the dolls have 30% of a shirt. So every time they sell $20, a 20, $30,
$34. It's a
$40 shirt,
$34 shirt. I said,
amen.
girl, you
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at least give them something. Give them
Right.
11 of it. So please, so yeah.
$2.
$2.
You can
Yeah,
get two, three, four,
give that bitch a
$5.
bill or something.
Good. I
Anyway.
mean, Tom still give niggas shoes. They when you buy a pair, they give somebody a pair.
All I have to
So
say,
shit, gives
lovers, you can find me at Joe Nails
yeah.
across all socials. My website, joenails.com. And
Mhm.
if not, then you will find me posting about your business online until you protect the dolls. And if not, then I will find you, bitch.
Yes, yes, amen. Well, as for me and mine, you can head over to www.drjohnpaul.com to find out more about my book, where I'll be, what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with. Please buy the book. Tell your mom, your uncle, your auntie. Christmas is coming up. This is a great time for y'all to catch some of
Stocking
these sales and
stuffer.
to buy my book and give it away, honey.
Mm-hmm.
So please do that. You can also find my spot on ABC, Our America, Who I Want to Be. Listen to us here, everywhere. Again, Signal Awards, Signal Awards, Signal Awards. I was going to say something else very cheeky, and I totally forgot what it was. I don't know. I guess it's just what kind of day and what kind of week it's gonna be, my love. But yeah, obviously, just just
Okay.
find us everywhere, and continue to support and love on us. We want to thank our super producer Joey, Pat, and Bei Wang for making this shit pop, and everyone over at iHeartMedia for keeping the show up and running. We also like to thank our wonderful editor Chris Rogers, because without him, there'd be what? No audio, no visuals, down to the tubes of you. We would be naked. We'd have nothing. We'd be standing out there singing like Whitney
I should have,
Houston,
could have.
crying in the rain, child. We'd have nothing. With that being said, this has been another show. Stay black, fat, femme, and fabulous. And remember what, Joho?
We may not be the cup of tea girl, but I'm gonna drink some water. And for those who don't like water, you can choke. You can
Tea.
choke. That ain't none of our business, girl.
Literally that. If you don't see it for us, choke. That's the easiest thing you can
Good morning
do.
to you.
That ain't
Good
got nothing
morning
to
to
do with
you.
us.
Good
Ain't
morning
none
to
of
you.
our
You can
business.
joke. Thank you. Good morning to
You
you.
you can choke. Amen. Definitely a reference. Do you know you got 30
30
minutes?
minutes. Yes.
30
30
30, 30.
minutes.
minutes.
You know you only got 30
Yes, yes,
minutes?
yes.
Yes, it's too much, Taquita. It's too much. It's too much, Taquita. I love us for real.
Bye. Bye, pumpkin.
Bye. Pumpkin.